Okay, Bobcat, thank you for that. As again, welcome to e-rev TV, where tonight it is the ESL Finals here for their Kickoff Cup for Capture the Flag. And right now, the Native Americans are going to be completely happy here as the Tomahawk for side choice is taking place here between the two teams. And the two teams are going to be 20ID and 5alive. My name is Anger, and in the co-pilot seat, you know him, you love him, my man Wansome. Good evening, Wansome. How's it going?
Yeah, when you said that, it was just like Jock Jam started playing in the background. I took off my warm-offs, stripped off the strip-offs, came out on the field slapping hands. But yeah, it looks like I'll actually be able to cast tonight, as I've had some pretty horrible things happening as far as getting the cast going. But yeah, it's going to be an exciting one. I couldn't have picked, and I didn't actually know who this 5alive team was, frankly, until just now, but I couldn't have picked a more dramatic soap opera type final here for this ESL CTF Cup. But we'll get more on that later. But good to be here.
Yeah, and also joining us here in the e-rev studios is my man saying good evening, saying how is it going, and welcome back for day number 2, my friend.
Well, at this point in the evening, Anger, I am just happy it's going. A little bit of delay, a lot of delay, but happy to see what's going to happen here. As Wansome said, some drama.
Yeah, well, first of all, let's get to the drama right now, and Wansome, why don't you describe what's going on here between 5alive and 20ID? A lot of background stuff going on. Why don't you let the people know?
Alright, basically, I mean, pretty much anybody watching this probably already knows this, but for anybody just joining us, or anybody just watching a little bit of Black Ops here, maybe you're not into the competitive scene, or haven't made your way to the forums or anything like that, what we got here are the teams are unrelated in the sense that they haven't actually played each other and there's no bad blood between them, but there's actually some sponsor conflict here going on. So very early on in Black Ops, this 5alive team here was picked up by the 20ID sponsorship, and they came to e-rev TV, they came to me, I did a write-up on their team. I thought it was pretty cool to see some Modern Warfare 2 players coming into the game, and you know, maybe literally maybe 20-30 minutes after that, after I had posted that article, the community sort of did a little bit of a rise up and let the 20ID sponsor know that they felt like some of these guys weren't legit. That's not my opinion or anybody at e-rev's opinion, but that's sort of what came across from the community, and they actually lost the 20ID sponsorship in the matter of maybe 30 minutes of that article being posted on e-rev TV. And shortly thereafter, 20ID issued a statement that, you know, they made a mistake, picked up the wrong team, that sort of thing. And then maybe a week later, we saw the current 20ID roster come into play here with those AVA players and some COD 4 players, and the overall strong roster. So definitely a little bit of bitter blood coming from this 5alive team towards the 20ID sponsorship, in the sense that, you know, they were dropped like a bad habit. I mean, as soon as a bad word came out, they were gone. So that's the drama, and it's really more from an organizational standpoint, more so than you know, from player standpoint. But definitely gives them a little bit of an edge on the revenge side, I would say.
Yeah, and again, this is not, we're not putting down any team, we're just reporting the news, so don't get mad at the messenger. Nonetheless here, let's talk about the two teams a little bit more in depth, at least in relation to this ESL tournament. First off, 20ID got a forfeit win. They were going to go up against Carnal, and I know that most of you, everybody here was waiting for that match to be viewed, but unfortunately we couldn't do it. ESL was talking with Carnal, and I'm sure you'll hear more about it in the next day or so at the TZ and the forums there. You can check that out if it hasn't been published already. And for 5alive, they took a path of the most resistance in the sense of they had to replay a match from last night against was it 4U or U4, Unforgiven, and they came out the victor, even though last night, unfortunately, we had some lag issues with U4, and they were actually up in that match, so bad timing at least for U4, but nonetheless, 5alive is here. They took out Prodigy 3-1 on WMD and 6-0 on Villa, so this is how they're here. So nonetheless, very, very interesting match, at least with the two teams and the storylines that fall behind it, so we'll see what happens, as it looks like action has taken place here. I'm not 100%. I didn't see live or anything of that nature. Can you help me out on that saying?
Yeah, no, this is live. Both teams are live right now. They chose the sides, and we got the maps from that other knife round, so we are live here. As it looks like 20ID is going to try and make a strong push now towards this flag. And one of the things that we've seen from 20ID throughout these numerous matches that we've casted from them is their excellent team play with Napkin and Clips to get to the bomb site, and then Skadoodle with that anchor over there by the flag, really holding it down here, Anger.
Yeah, no doubt. As we watched last night, Skadoodle is a top anchor, as we've seen early off, at least in this COD series. So we'll see what 5alive can do. Now, we did see 5alive briefly again, but we'll see how they can handle it on this map. Again, this is WMD. This is the first map of possibly best of 3. So we're not 100% sure what the next map choice is. We haven't got that information, but as soon as we do, we'll relay that to you, the people out there. So still 0-0 in the first half, and as things get started here for this ESL CTF tournament. So right now we have some War Room, and for you just joining us and not familiar with the e-rev cast, we'll go into 20ID's event, or Mumble that is, and we'll listen into their live conversation. Now remember, it's a minute behind, so it's not truly up to date, so we don't hear the strats happening right there and then. 20ID now, block gets taken out by Torque, but we'll be visiting that vent momentarily. So right now still 0-0, both teams filling each other out. Saying, has anything stood out to you thus far?
I think we can. What we touched on earlier was Skadoodle's excellent anchor play. Looks like though that 5alive is really in the base of 20ID. 20ID really having to reset there as Napkin was able to take out Torque. So Skadoodle going down there to super. So what we're seeing right now is some pretty defensive play by 20ID, except for Clips. I'll fall in behind him, who's the lone man over here on this 5alive side, taking some fire, going to get taken out here. So 20ID playing actually a little bit defensive right now as they kind of get their defenses in gear here, as Skadoodle is able to get some kills.
Yeah, and one thing that we noticed in the first 2 matches we casted yesterday evening, saying, and you could probably agree that 20ID was very aggressive with Napkin and Wicked moving forward, capturing flags while Skadoodle's in the back, but it looks like more B-Block has come back, and they're, as you were saying, playing more defensive, so I like to see this, how they're going to adjust here, as it looks like Nicholas is going to be, for 5alive, the anchor for them, as he's hitting up there on, just as soon as I said that, Napkin takes it out with a nice pineapple toss there. So early off, Bobcat looks like, it looks like Napkin has picked up the flag, but he gets taken it out by Effect with the FAMAS, as it looks like Effect's going to get that, and Super has put the flag back in their place. Again, 0-0 early off. Bobcat, let's go to 20ID's War Room. Let's go now.
I'm out, guys. I'm out. Flag.
One's in the middle.
One's on our flag. Nice. Come on, 2 up. 2v2.
Watch steel. Somebody give me factory. We need to be scoring on this side.
One left side.
One steel.
Nady middle, look out, nady middle.
Steel down.
Another one up there, Matt?
Yeah, one more. I got it. I'm dead. Top mid.
Jumped out back window.
Coming mid factory.
Watch one above
Coming
window
down.
if you can.
One left side, Matt.
He's lit left side.
Clips, where are you? Talk to me.
Yeah, I'm bottom mid.
Yeah,
He's
I'm
double
at-
doors.
Bottom
Right.
mid, bottom mid.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're back live
Push
here.
up, guys. Push
as
up.
we've enjoyed that feature, the War Room there of 20ID, and again, they're going back and forth. Now, real briefly, let me go over the starting lineups we have for 20ID: Wicked, Skadoodle, Napkin, B-Block, and Clips. And for 5alive, we have Super, Torque, Nicholas, Static, and Effect. And early off here, it looks like Wicked is 7-1. Skadoodle has 8 kills. Napkin with 5 and 4. 5alive, we have Super with 11. Torque also with 7 kills, and Nicholas 2. So those are your top 3 kills for both sides, they're saying. And Wansome, as we keep bouncing around here, still a 0-0 tie, but this is a fun match. Very defensive, but both teams doing very well supporting their anchors here near their flags.
Right now, nobody really wants to make the mistake of getting the death deficit here, so to speak, to the point where the other team can make an effective rush with numbers into the flag area, flag site, whatever you want to call it. What's interesting here coming into this CTF game type, I mean, you take a look at the anchor here playing for this 5alive side here. It's going to be Effect, and he's actually 5-0 right now, has not died. So that gives you a little bit of a perspective on how much 20ID has been pushing this Spetsnaz flag. They actually haven't been there enough to even kill the anchor once. So 20ID playing very, very defensive here. I wonder if that has to do with perhaps the layout of the map. They feel like they have maybe the easier side to defend or the harder side to defend right now. Maybe they're waiting to see what happens in the second half. They've got something planned, as looks like 5alive will get a hold of the flag there for the first time thus far this half, as looks like Skadoodle is going to wait around, see if he can bait it out, and we have Static and Torque coming around here trying to pick up this flag. Torque will get it and is going to be dropped to Wicked there, and 20ID is on the respawn now, so should see a pretty quick reset here.
Ooh, super, they're coming from behind, taking out Skadoodle, but then he gets taken out by B-Block, so good defensive posture here for 20ID, but also 5alive coming very aggressive. I like to see that, but Wicked puts the flag back there. So again, back and forth. This is just like the old times in COD 4, at least when it comes to that boxing match. We like to see both teams hitting and just taking punches, but nobody falling down quite yet there, Wansome. And right now, again, the score is 0-0. Both teams, or excuse me, 20ID has 2 returns. The 5alive team has only 1. They're playing pretty good, pretty defensive, and they're being really aggressive. So early off right now, still 0-0. Torque takes out Wicked there with the FAMAS, and this has just been pretty defensive, pretty fun to watch how both teams are maneuvering around those flag areas, saying.
Yeah, both teams are doing a good job. Looks like 20ID is trying to push the gauntlet a bit now, leaving Napkin, probably Skadoodle the only one back, as Wicked is able to get some kills, and it looks like Super is able to get the flag, as well as who is that for?
Block has it for 20ID.
Block has it for 20ID.
By Effect. Now
yeah, he gets taken out by Effect.
Sorry about that, Sing.
Yeah, looks like Super was able to take him out, though, and I'm following in behind Super. Looks like he's going to get this flag cap, though, Anger, as, yes, he will get that, and this could really be trouble for this 20ID team if this 5alive defense continues to play strong, as it has thus far this half.
Yeah, absolutely, as Wicked gets taken out by Nicholas, so good defensive stand there. It is 1-0 here. 5alive gets the first point, as right now we have Effect on the second floor warehouse across from the flag here. Looks like he's going to try to possibly move Effect. No, he's going to stay back now. He looks like he's made his way back to the flag, and he's going to be the anchor, at least thus far, for 5alive right now. Taking a look at Skadoodle. Looks like he's pushing out a little bit more now. The urgency may be kicking in here, Wansome, as Skadoodle is pushing just a little bit now. Looks like he's held back. We have Clips there taking out Torque. So could the stress, not the stress, but could it be the urgency be hitting 20ID a little bit hard here, Wansome?
No, I don't think I mean, you're going to see urgency from 20ID here, as we've actually lost a player from 20ID. I believe Skadoodle has DC'd. So it's 4v5, but Huron, and I'm not going to get too far off track here, but Huron lies the problem with CTF, sort of. Here with this game type, is that this may very well end up being a 1-0 victory. We've seen a pretty big drop back here coming from this 5alive team. They've moved from, actually since the DC, one of their players has moved out, but they actually moved to like a 3-man defense there, so I wouldn't be surprised to see them playing, just a flat-out defense here in the second half or second round, whatever, dead round maybe here as we have a disconnect, but it could be pretty boring from here on out. Now, I'm not going to say that's going to be the case, but what are, as we got some dead time here, what are you guys' thoughts sort of on the dead time we might see from like an early cap and then people playing defense nonstop?
Well, here's my theory on it, and just like in the NFL, prevent defense prevents you most of the time from winning, and that can always bite you in the ass. So at least that's my thought on it. Saying you may have a little bit different approach to it, I'm not sure.
Well, I think a team can put most of their players on defense, and it can work, I would say 75% of the time, most of the time. You know, but these maps are so large. There's so many corners, and the players move around so quickly. Everything's just so dynamic that it's really hard to say, okay, I'm going to put all my guys on defense and still get it done. You know, if the other team still has a coordinated push, they still do all the right things, you know, that flag could get captured. So while I will agree with you that, you know, stacking the defense will work probably, you know, 90% of the time, I would agree that you could cap a flag on a full defensive team.
Right, I wouldn't argue that fact. Sorry, Anger. I don't mean to say that it's impossible. From the standpoint of you know, I'm not playing 5 guys in the flag side, but sort of playing how 5 Alive is right now, where they're not really moving past that middle point in the map. They're spread out. So they can keep control of spawn points over there. But actually, sorry, the reason I interrupted, have you guys seen the ping spikes coming from the 20 ID team there? They've been going from like 180 to like 30 there. I don't know if I'm the only one seeing that or not.
I haven't noticed, but nonetheless. Well, you know, to counter your opinion there, Watson, some people might say this is just the way that you can play it to win. I mean, it's all about winning regardless how pretty or how ugly it is.
Absolutely.
It's a win. So still 1-0 here, 4-5 alive. It is the second half here on WMD. This is the ESL CTF Kickoff Cup. This is the finals here between these two teams. And as the teams get adjusted to the game type, as casters, we are doing the same. So let us know. Go to www.e-rev.tv and give us your opinions on how we're doing and how we can change things up. Again, we are all about change. If we can change things, we will try our best to do so. As right now, it is still 1-0 now. Action taking place here now. 20 ID. It looks like they're moving forward. We have Clips now just popping some pineapples across here, possibly trying to get into that flag position. So Bobcat, let's go to Clips now. Oh, he gets flashed as he's trying to move in, and he gets double flashed, and nothing going there. So let's see what he can do. Takes out effect, but there he goes. Nicholas gets the better of Clips there. So again, 1-0 still in the favor of 5 Alive. Wants him.
We'll take a look here and sort of see what 20 ID is attempting here. They're still actually playing Skadoodle there as the anchor, so they are still playing a guy on defense here. The urgency hasn't hit them so much as they're going to pull the goalie, so to speak, here. But the kill count is heavily in favor of 5 Alive here, as they are letting 20 ID push into them. As we'll take a look here and see if we can find some action towards the mid and see where any of these 20 ID players are trying to make their entrance here. As I'm going to follow Napkin here, as he's going to follow back around towards the train tracks here and head back towards the back of the flag. This is actually the spawn point they're in right now, as he will fall there to Nicholas from 5 Alive. So it's going to be a 2v4 right now here, or 1v4, I'm sorry, in favor of 20 ID, which is actually the biggest swing I've seen for them, as the flag is going to be taken. That is going to be Clips here, and it looks like he will get the cap here, as he is going to hop on that one, and we are tied up here, I believe 1-1 now. So 20 ID gets a cap, and let's see if they could chain one here. So I have spoken too soon.
Yeah, let's go to the war room of 20 ID. Bobcat, let's head there now.
Let's go, guys. Fuck, one's on the
Top down.
Go, 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 go.
Give me connector.
Go, baby! Take it through warehouse.
I'm going through mid snow to.
Make connector.
Slow down, let's go. Another one there. Just go. He's going mid house.
Cover my top mid.
Yeah, go, take it.
Why
Go,
did he?
go.
No! Shoot him!
No!
Oh my
What the
god!
fuck?
Dude, he's under flag. He's ripped. He's going steel.
He's down. Watch
Nice,
it. One
return.
warehouse. One warehouse.
We can still do it. Come on, we still have 5.
Watch out, it's coming behind me. He's on flag,
He's on our flag.
Guys, get on D.
Where?
On flag,
Get on
flag,
D, get on D.
By the big wheel. On field side.
You only have 2 up.
Watch the
Dude,
flag,
tag him with a
go
nade on the
field.
flag. To your right, Napkin.
Why am I getting pre-fired here?
One broken wall. On the flag. He's go back.
All right,
behind,
back
we're
here
behind.
live, back to the action.
Warehouse.
As Nicholas now 4-5 alive has picked up the flag. A lot of nade tosses and a lot of action near that flag of 20 IDs. Now Nicholas is going far left warehouse, and he gets taken out there by Wicked with the Famas. Nice distance shot there. Looks like Napkin is now going to get the flag back in their area, and they do. Now it looks like 20 ID is pushing up to there where they need to be, over by building 3. Clips now backing up a little bit. Looks like he's backing up slightly as back to the mid buildings. Now the score is still 1-1, and we might go into overtime. And if we do, they're going to be 4-minute halves. And if nothing comes about in that, we'll go to a second overtime, and then again another 2 4-minute halves.
And you know, it's I like the timed half. We actually saw a little bit of a roust in some of those earlier matches yesterday that you guys casted.
Hold on real quick, Wansum. Sorry for interrupting. We have B Block now with the flag. 420 ID. He's making his way. He's got Skadoodle and Wicked, and there it is. Very big capture there. 420 ID. They will now take the lead 2-1. Again, this is crucial because it is in the second half here, Wansum. And here now the urgency may go right back here to 5 alive. Nicholas is going to pick up the flag. Oh, he gets taken out there right there by Skadoodle with the Famas right before the flag. Big time defensive stand there by 20 ID. Excellent job as the clock is ticking. Tick. And again, now the tables have definitely turned here. Wansum and 5 alive needs to get pushing.
Yeah, thanks for catching that, man. As I got a little caught up there in a firefight going on, but yeah, right now it's no longer a tie ball game. I was actually going to talk a little bit about the mercy rule there, so to speak, as we have these two 10-minute halves, and we saw like a 16 or 18-0 blowout earlier on. So we'll take a look here and see what's going to go on from this 5A team. I'm going to watch. Let's find the anchor for you guys and see if they've actually pulled him or not. As looks like that is going to be.
Effect.
Oh, wow, I can actually find him. Yeah, is that effect? Okay. So, we'll watch here as,
Well,
actually, guys, I
let me
seem
do
to,
this once
I've
really
frozen.
quick. We have Torque now on the second floor. He took out Wicked from the warehouse to the east end. Torque now making his way to the flag area. Napkin, and it looks like Skadoodle has pushed back. We have it looks like Super now going mid. Now they're going to come from all 3 sides here as they're coming in. Napkins gets taken out. Now we do have a flag taken here, and it looks like it's, as I'm flipping around, oh, it was Nicholas, and he gets taken out by a nice pineapple, but York has picked up the flag. He has escorted here by Super, and they are going long left side as the far building, as Torque now is going really far here. He's getting chased there by Napkin and the rest of 20 ID. Effect gets taken out. I'm following Torque now. He still has the flag. He's trying to get there. This is very tight, as we can't see the clock, so we're not 100% how much time is left. Here comes Torque. Torque now gets it, and he gets the flag back in there, and it is all tied up 2-2. Great job there by 5 alive. The pressure was mounting on them, and they come up big time there, Wansum.
Yeah, definitely a huge cap there. I apologize, guys, if I lag out or anything like that. Just interrupt me and cut me off, as I think I'm being packeted again. But so I apologize about getting caught up there. So we're all tied up 2-2 here, so 2-1 this half. This 5 Alive team, former 20 ID sponsor, playing against the 20 ID sponsor, and we'll see how this one's going to turn out, guys. Here we'll take a look here at the e-rev scoreboard, as we haven't done any rundowns here for you, as no flags are going back and forward right now, so we got a little bit of time here. Let's take a look here at this 20 ID team. Wicked on top here, former AVA All-Star there at 16-9. He's going to be followed up there by B Block and Skadoodle with a 10 and a 13, 9 and 7 there from Clips and Napkin. But the big story for this 20 ID team right now is going to be those caps. They got B Block and Clips there with a cap apiece. And here on the other side, we're going to have 5 alive here. Torque going to be the guy on top, 14 and 13 right now, and actually a pair of 14s coming from Nicholas and Super as well. So very even scoring coming from this 5 alive team, and you can really tell who's on the offensive there with Static as 7 and 16 as he's running into that meat grinder that is the 20 ID defense right now.
I'm not exactly sure or 100%, but 5 Alive seems to be attacking Building 1. Now, Building 1 is, if you're looking from the 20 ID flag site, it would be that building with a ton of windows on the right-hand side, and they may have found a hole there. Again, they went approaching that area, and that's how they got the flag last time. Now Torque is back in there. He gets taken out by Wicked, and I think 20ID is on to what they're doing. So they're holding that off pretty good. So again, the score is tied, and more than likely we might see our first overtime, at least from us casting here, gentlemen. As again, they are just going back and forth, and this match has been pretty phenomenal for Capture the Flag, and I hope you guys are enjoying it out there in the cyber world. And there it is, ladies and gents. There it is. As they're saying good half, so that should be, if I'm mistaken, it should be it now. It should be, yes, it is going to go to overtime. Okay, their in-chat stuff just kind of throws me off there, saying.
Yeah, they're just trying to get the everything figured out as far as the halves go. As we were saying, the OT is 4-minute halves. It's 4. Someone thought it was 5. No, I actually spoke to Relics about this the other day. Why do you choose 4-minute halves? Anger, I want some. And he said that ESL chose 4-minute halves because they wanted to move things along. They didn't want the teams just camping back and essentially feeling each other out. They wanted the faster gameplay on during the overtime. Another interesting point that was brought up, Jock Yitch talked a lot about using the golden cap, the first cap, kind of like the NFL, first score to win. What do you guys think of that?
I like that idea, to be honest with you, especially if CTF is going to be the game type of choice, because I could actually see these overtime and things like that, depending on how this game turns out with perks in particular. But you could see overtime after overtime after overtime, particularly if teams play a pretty stout defense. So I actually kind of like the sudden death overtime there. I would actually be a proponent of that, I think.
Yes, right now we are not live, as at least that's what they're saying in chat, but they are going back and forth. It looks like the 4-minute round command didn't work, so it looks like they're going to get things going once again. Now, 420 ID, they will be on the Black Ops side. 5 Alive will be taking Spitnas. Now, they took Spitnas, 5 Alive, that is, in the first round. So we'll see if that works out for them again. As 420 ID, we're going to have the starting lineups here once again. In case you're just joining us, this is the ESL CTF Kickoff Cup here, and this is the first overtime here. Again, 2 halves, 4 minutes each, and the winner, again, this is the finals, and we'll be going to another map. The other map has not been sent to us quite yet, but we do know launch will be the tiebreaker map, so hopefully we might go to a third map, and that would be very, very entertaining, especially for you, the peeps out there. Now, for the starting lineups, we have Clips, Block, Skadoodle, Napkin, and my man from the West Coast, from Sin City, my man Wicked. And for 5 Alive, we have Super, we have Torque, Static, Effect, and Nicholas.
Anger, real quick, I don't want to interrupt too quickly here, but Skadoodle actually killed himself at the beginning of that round, and actually fell off the top of the tower up there, and actually led to a pretty decent flag run there from that 5 Alive team. They did get it back, or actually, no, I'm sorry, they scored. That's my mistake, they scored. I thought they actually got that back, but Skadoodle actually suicided at the beginning of that round and cost his team an early flag. That's huge.
Yeah, no doubt, because now they can go in that defensive posture like you were saying and really hold this 1-0 lead. So let's see what 20 ID can do here. Again, 6 minutes you don't have to use. Now you're going to have the sense of urgency has been heightened here for 20 ID, as Super right now is holding off. He's taking mid-building now, holding it for defensive stand. He's going up, and he takes out Napkin. Napkin, the lead flag taker there for 20 ID. He gets taken out, so that may ruin 20 ID's push, at least from the start here. Wicked now holding building 2 towards his right side as moving around here. Looks like B Block, maybe possibly he's in mid building right now, trying to get a peek shot there on top cylinders, but nothing going there, as B Block again trying to get that peek shot up on there, and it is Nicholas holding his stand there over the flag on those top cylinders, as it looks like we have super now working mid buildings also. So again, back and forth they go, but this time there's no feel out process. These teams know what each other's somewhat's going to do, saying can 20ID pick up this flag, because they need it very, very badly.
I think they can. They just need to get these respawns working in their favor. They're currently down on the respawn timers. They need to get their people spawned and coordinate a very coordinated push. And we know they are capable of doing that. As I just saw someone from 5alive, Torque, just jump off of the top of a building. I don't even know where he came from. Just, you know, Superman from the top of the building here. As it looks like Nicholas is on top of this tower here, just kind of holding things down as the anchor for this 5alive team, and he's going to be doing some really good work. Effect and Super coming in with kills, and this is what I'm talking about, Anger. 20ID just really not able to push in very well to this 5alive defense.
Yeah, 5alive doing a nice job, and really this is the first we've seen 20ID really, I guess, kind of stress it out a little bit here, because they are down 1-0, and the two matches we've seen them with, they've pretty much had a commanding lead. So it's good to see how things have turned here, and 20ID actually working the offensive side, as Wicked now going back into building 1. Let's see what he can do. They still haven't taken out Nicholas, as he's on his bird perch up there on cylinder 1, overlooking the flag as shots being fired there, as Torque takes out Wicked. So again, in case you're just joining us, it is 1-0 in the favor of 5alive, and they are just doing an outstanding job. And who would have thunk this? First of all, 5alive, who would have thought they would have been here in the finals? But nonetheless, they are really making a good impression here for everybody that's viewing this cast.
Oh, without a doubt here, I'm actually taking a look here at Torque, who, again, they're in full defensive mode here, as we're actually going to be at 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 time there, as evidently I was a little bit off in my counting in my head there. So good half, as that's going to be a 1-0 lead there for the Spetsnaz. That's going to be the 5alive guys there. So 1-0 into the second half of overtime here. 4 minutes to go here, and they need at least one cap here, 20ID that is, to make this a tie ball game and potentially into another overtime here. So perhaps we'll see the same thing we saw last time. Is I think maybe this is the easier side to cap on. I'm not positive, but that seems to be the trend here so far, as 20ID makes a very, very early push there into the flag site there of the 5alive team. They are down in the kill count 1v4 now, as they're going to continue to respawn here, but that's such a huge way to take control of the map there, as again you have to wait on your respawns, wait to group up, and make sure you don't get picked off on the way to get behind on those respawn timers, as we saw in that first half, which led to 20ID losing a flat, or being capped on very early there. Again, Skadoodle killing himself early on, and they lost their anchor, and led to that 1-0 cap here. So, Sang, do you think we're going to see a pretty much all-out defensive strat here, or at least a very passive offensive strat coming from this 5alive team?
You know, honestly, they're not trying to go offense right now. They have all their guys looking back on the defense. You know, I'm following, specking all their guys looking at the mini-map, and you know, they are on top of buildings, on top of this crane right here is Nicholas. They are full on defense right now, not committing to do anything. They will sit here and win this overtime 1-0 if they have to. You know, if 20ID wants to at least tie it, they're going to have to come through literally a 5-man defense.
Right now we have some, it looks like we have a CI issue with Wicked, so right now it is 5v4, and he might be getting dropped here as I'm watching him, and yes, he's got a CI, so this may be even more of a detriment for 20ID to come back, and they might just say have a wash at it, as they'll just probably hopefully try to tie this thing up with the next map, because again, Wicked hasn't officially dropped. Now he's 999, and he's about to get dropped, so now it's 5v4. This does not help 20ID whatsoever here, as Nicholas takes out Napkin. So Wansome, this is going to be a tough start here for 20ID. Let's hope for their sake that they can come back in the next map, but major props to 5alive. Great job by them thus far, even though this half isn't over. But with the 5v4, who knows what's going to happen. It looks like Skadoodle now is getting an issue also, so it might go to 5-3. This is just crazy here that they're getting dropped like this.
It's always bad to see. Well, I won't say it's bad, but it's always it's not fun to see anybody lag out during the middle of the match. You like a square, even playing field. And to be honest, that's what we have right here. Is these two teams are obviously very evenly matched, as we've seen some great play thus far. Again, this is going to be a best 2 out of 3 match makeup here. So we still got at least one more map to go here, as it looks like Wicked will finally be dropped from the game there, as he would 999 out, and we have just under, looks like 2 minutes or under a minute to play here. So. Not a whole lot of time left here for 20ID to do anything, and they are behind both in the kill count as well as the cap count. So it looks like this will go to 5alive. We'll go to the second map, although I don't think any of us are actually sure which one that is, as it's going to be the team's decision here. I'm not sure who picked this map, so that could also tell us a lot here. Whoever picked this map, definitely they were in for a fight here on their own map. So this is what you like to see: two evenly matched teams meeting up in the finals here, and it's been a little bit of a roller coaster here, Ted, in the CSL tournament as far as teams in and teams out. We didn't actually get to see, perhaps the perennial #1 team play in this tournament with that EMG squad, but so far the competition has been great.
Yeah, and I think one of the themes that we'll talk about for a little while, following the tournament, and then eventually leading up to whatever the next event, whenever the next event starts, not just ESLs, maybe Cyber Gamers as well. I'm not exactly sure on the scheduling of everything off the top of my head, but is these newer teams kind of stepping up and making a name for themselves? This 5alive team, Carnal was fairly impressive. 20ID, I think people thought that they were going to be good, but getting straight to the finals, that was very impressive. So some really strong teams kind of stepping up to the table here thus far in this Kickoff Cup.
Really quick here, I apologize. Looks like WMD was voted on by 5alive, so this is going to be, it looks like it's going to be Hanoi. That's being voted by 20ID, but I'm not 100% sure. We're just going there right now. It's not to say that's the flag they chose. It might be just a random, just going to that map, but we'll see 100% sure. But right now we're going to Hanoi. That's rather interesting. Also, talk about a beatdown. The New England Patriots just dropped trout and just took a big dump on the New York freaking Jets, 45-3. So all you Jet fans out there in the East Coast, I hope you guys are not crying. But for you Bostonians, for you Chowdas out there, you got to be happy. But both teams more than likely will make the playoffs. But hey, my Raiders beat the Chargers. I'm happy about that. So we're 6-6. Not to say we're going to go to the playoffs, but hey, it's a better season, at least from the last 7 years.
It beats making Come On Man every week.
That's an interesting perspective you have there, Angry.
Yeah, well, I got my Lakers, my Raiders, and my Dodgers, so I'm a true Angelino. I know the Raiders are in Oakland. I don't want to hear X-Fires. Well, speaking of X-Fires, if you want to get your shout-outs across the airwaves, you can do that by hitting us up on X-Fire. At least for me, you can hit me up at Anger, O-N-E, the number 5, the number 6, the number 2. Now, if you want to hit up my man Sang, why don't you give that out, Sang?
My X-Fire, Sang, S-A-N-G, U-I-N-I-U-S, spelled sanguinus. So you can go ahead and add me to X-Fire, and I will do my best to get your comments out as well.
Wantum, I'm not sure if you have your X-Fire on. If you do, and even if you don't, why don't you just give it out for future reference there, bro?
I'm going to make it a little easier on you guys, as mine is just Raiden, with the first I replaced with a 1. But just for a little perspective for you guys why we're not using IRC, we're actually on a little bit of a movement here that's kind of been agreed upon by everybody that we've talked to, that IRC is an older program than the majority of the people that are playing this game. So we would like to sort of move away from that system and make it so it'd be a little bit easier for people to get in contact with us if you're not experienced with the competitive community, and we're working on some projects to make that easier for everybody. So X-Fire is the medium for the current time.
All right. So also we'd like to introduce one of our major partners here, Alienware Arena. Make sure you visit them at alienwarearena.com. There's going to be a big Black Ops event in January, so make sure you stay tuned and look for details at alienwarearena.com. And also you can get details at e-rev.tv.
And I'm really excited about that, dude. It's sweet to see these bigger companies take a look here at Black Ops, even in the state that it's in right now. So, if this game gets fixed up and moves on, it's just going to be awesome, and it'll be a great thing for the COD series in general. So, maybe we'll see a little bit of life plugged back in it. But looks like we're underway here. Saying, what are your thoughts on this map, man? As far as CTF goes, the running lanes, that sort of thing.
This map is, I've heard mixed reaction from it. I personally love it. Some teams love it, some teams hate it, the whole night map issue. Specifically on CTF, what you're going to see is there's a lot of these passages. If the camera, Bobcat, if you can scroll around here, through these corridors that really need to be controlled as far as passages to and from the flag. So we're going to have to keep our eye out on that as well as the buildings near the flag. So again, this map is there's a lot of open space, but yet there's also a lot of like little corners and buildings that you can hide in, windows and things of that nature. So this is going to be really interesting to see how this plays out, and I just really hope 20ID wins, because I have to say, this is a little bit of an unconventional pick on CTF, I think.
Yeah, right now, let's take a look at Napkin as he's the lead. He draws first blood here, Bobcat, so let's get over to Napkin. He went through the courtyard to get to the flag area. It looked like the fastest way. Now he's getting flashed, but it's good to see how 20ID is moving thus far. Again, this is the map they chose, so common sense says that they should do pretty well on this, and you might get your wish here for maybe a third map. Right now we have a Super doing a nice job there on the defensive stand. Clips now getting the peek around the arches, possibly trying to get in. He's going up against Torque. Torque moving around. Now it looks like he's going to hide behind some boxes, but it looks like Static cleans everything up. So good job here by 5alive on their first defensive stand, as they pretty much prevented 20ID from even passing the arches. But here comes Napkin, wants him, as now he's got the first flag here, and he gets taken out by Super.
I'm taking a look here, and actually, this is going to be a pretty interesting map. Now, I've scrimmed this map, I've watched people play this map, but perhaps not at this caliber, because I am nowhere near any of these guys. Even with new computer parts, I'm still evidently awful at video games. So I'm out of excuses. I have to retire from the internet. But, it's FAMAS, 74U, FAMAS. So there's a lot of fast-firing weapons that have ridiculous range on a pretty short-ended map. In the sense that you're constantly shooting down hallways, maybe 50, 100 yards in-game. So close quarters here with a lot of open space in between. And we'll take a look here and see how these defenses are going to be set up. Looks like we will have a flag grab here coming from Napkin, or at least an attempt here, as he's going to flash out the anchor here for this 5alive team. He's going to peek around the corner, smoke going out, nades going out as well. He's going to think better here and run away and look to make another attempt there, as he was actually going to fall to Super there as the respawn timers come around. And so I'm not quite sure which side's going to end up being the easier side, so to speak. Maybe we won't see a cap this first half. We've got plenty of time left here, about 7 minutes left in these 11-minute halves, and of course the second half is yet to come. So again, 20ID picked this map, so obviously they feel comfortable on it, so it'll be interesting to see how this plays out. So right now things going pretty slow. Maybe a little war room in a bit.
Yeah, sure. Why don't we do that right now, Bobcat? Let's head on over to 20ID. Really quick, we don't have 5alive's vent. That's why we haven't went there. But nonetheless, let's go to 20ID.
There, Clips.
One's
Gates is
below,
clean.
down.
Bust down.
Push, guys. Push up. Push up.
We're playing too far back.
Well, it's windows. We know how to take it.
I spawned courtyard.
Two court,
I'm
they're
pushing up their
spawning.
mid. Alright, I'm gonna go behind him.
We're gonna spawn, Guys, spawn! There's 3 of them there.
Alright.
Leave the flag. Leave the flag there.
Flags down.
Now go back to it.
Got it.
Go help him, Come court,
garden.
come court.
Guard court, I mean.
Go.
They're in their spawn still.
There's one in the mid, He's gonna be coming to that archway.
Dude, he's ready. Go on your way, go on your way.
Help me.
Bust, he's ripped.
Dude, he needs help with the flag.
I spawned right behind you.
Guys, help him out.
Help him out, he's on our mid-stairs.
Dude, flank behind you.
Behind you.
All right, we're back to action here.
Nice.
As I've been watching here, Nick, he is just outstanding when I was watching it here. I have to admit, this game is really tests your patience, and if you're an aggressive person, it is so tempting just to grab the flag. But a lot of these players, if their teammate gets taken down, if they do pick up the flag, gents, they hold off and they wait, and it's very nice to see, because I would not have the patience saying to hold off. I'm just too ultra aggressive.
Yeah, that's just one of the things that we've been talking about throughout the weekend. You know, the different aspects of the CTF game type, you just really can't rush in. As 20ID did a really good job pushing to get that flag, and it looks like they're going to be making another push towards this flag as Wicked clips very close to the flag now. As I'm following behind him, looks like he's going to try and get the kill. But he's actually taken out. So 20ID here, Anger, being very aggressive towards this flag and to try and get a quick second cap, as it looks like Skadoodle is the only one back here for 20ID defending.
Yeah, right now Napkin picks up the kill on Super, and Super is another aggressive player doing really well for his team, as again it is 1-0 in the favor of 20ID. As we take a look at the e-rev scoreboard, we have Block at 9-4, Skadoodle as the anchor 10-1, and Wicked 6-5. 4-5 alive, we have Super 7-7, Torque at 8-8, and Static also coming in at 7-7.
Let me pose a question to you guys here. Now, I realize this isn't the case here, but it's something that just sort of popped into my head, and I'm going to be random as we get used to casting CTF, and I have to talk a lot more and not call play-by-play. But what do you guys think on conceding halves? You know, if somebody's up by 10-0, 8-0, or something like that at halftime, you know, can you concede halves, move on to the next map if you're in one of these two to three match makeups here?
You know, I think it could happen. Not sure whether, you know, rules like that are kind of sticky. You know, can you, if you score 10 on one half, can you score 10 on the other? Theoretically, yes. Is it likely? No. It might be something that would have to be agreed on by both teams, such that it's not automatic. That's really the way I see it possibly happening.
It's going to be interesting to see how actually the CTF game type plays out in sort of you know, power rankings, or even when you move into the RPI sort of systems for your, you know, your CG, CVOs, ESL, all those kinds of things. You know, basing those off of caps, or you know, all that kind of stuff. So it's going to be interesting to see if again CTF ends up to being the game type of choice here for the COD community. And again, a lot of tournaments going on here. We're casting ESL right now. We're going to have CG in a short while. CVO's got some stuff in the works. There's, what is it, Quad Gaming, I think, has something going on right now,
Let
Ted.
me interrupt you really quick here, as Static has picked up the flag for 5 alive, and he was being anchored by Nicholas. Nicholas doing a nice job. He was sitting in the back waiting for his teammates to push up, and he did a nice job, and he even took out Skadoodle there, so it opened up the door for Static. Static still has the flag here. He's in mid-build. He's trying to wait for a couple of escorts here to help him get this flag to where it needs to be. Static holding up, very patient. Let's see what 20ID could do. And they're probably not 100% sure where Static is. Now Static is holding off. Let's see what 20ID does, as I'm bouncing back and forth. Now they don't exactly know where he's at. Skadoodle is somewhat near the stairwell that leads into the building where Effect is at. Let's see here, as again we're going back and forth. Nothing quite yet. I'm not 100% sure if they picked up the flag. Saying, can you help me out on that one? It doesn't look like it.
Yeah, I'm not sure where the flag is. Looks like both teams are kind of playing defensive right now, as both teams have the flag, just no one really wants to commit because they don't want to lose the flag and lose the cap. Looks like 20ID kind of just being careful, sending maybe one guy at a time to try and retrieve this flag. Not exactly the best idea. I believe the flag carrier for 20ID is Napkin. He's in this corner part of the map here. He's behind this truck, and last I checked it was, who's got the flag? Static's got the flag. He's sitting in this building here behind this wall next to the cot. So very slow play right here, as neither team is in a really interesting situation here, as both flags are taken.
Yeah, so it's pretty much of a stalemate here, Wansum, and Skadoodle is supporting Napkin, as again they're waiting for the flag. Now Static has it for 5 alive, Skadoodle has it for 20ID, and This is rather interesting. First one to drop the flag, the other team will commit and more than likely pick up the point. It is 2-1 here in the favor of 20ID as we're inching close to the end of the first half. I don't have a timer, or at least I don't see one, so I'm not 100% what the time is like. It looks like Super Derek. Oh, he takes out Napkin and puts the flag back in his favor. Nice job by 5alive, and they hold them off there. Great job as... this is just going back and forth here. Looks like we have Super now. Looks like he's trying to get to the flag. He takes out Skadoodle. Super does pick up the flag. Let's see what he does. He goes through mid-arches as he's making his way as we speak. Super now getting shot there by Napkin. Nothing going as Super now. It looks like he's going to be escorted there by Effect, and he will more than likely get this in his favor, and he does. 5alive picks up another one. It is now 2-1. As wow, 5alive on the 20 ID chosen map. Woo!
There was a DC there on that last cap, Anger. Actually, that may have been on the previous. I think it was during the two caps there. Actually, Wicked DC'd there from 20 ID. So unfortunate for them, as they're going to go down 2-1 here on the 20 ID map. So that's big business there. As and not to take anything away from this 5alive team. Again, definitely not taking anything away from this team, as they're playing stupendous here on this 20 ID map. But always unfortunate to see a DC and a couple flag caps taking place there. So hopefully we'll see a pretty even half here in the second half, and no more DCs here from either team. Okay.
Oh no, we're just looks like we're ready to get things rolling here. Again, it is just 2-1 here in the favor of 5alive as we are hitting now the second half. It looks like everything is ready to go. Again, it's hard to see when you don't have exactly what they're seeing, at least the config wise. So I didn't see LR or live or anything of that nature. Or what's the Counter-Strike one? LO3. So I haven't seen anything. So we're hoping that it's going live here as shots are being fired. Now, saying, can you confirm if it has or it hasn't?
Yeah, I think this is live. They just went it straight in and lived it. You know, and the other thing that's kind of hard for us, please bear with us, guys. You know, this is a lot like our fifth cast here. Is that every time the side switches, we have to go out of spec into the game, back into spec. It's just these really little nuances that actually makes casting this game a lot harder than you would think. So bear with us. We will get it worked out. Hopefully, we'll get a little love from Treyarch, and we'll bring you some great Call of Duty action here.
Yeah, absolutely. Good point there, Sang, and well explained. As right now we're going to take a look at Wicked. Wicked right now looks like he's going to make his approach. He's eyeing the flag right now, and he's basically teasing himself. He's going to throw a flash, actually a couple flashes. He picked up one person. Looks like Clips now is going to be the escort possibly, as shots are being fired by Wicked. Clips does take out Effect. Let's see here as Wicked now had to hold his approach at the arches as they're approaching the flag here. Wicked now is flanking slightly a little bit here as he's making his way past Toll. And shots being fired there by Wicked, holding off by Truck. Nobody has picked up the flag, and now I changed that. As now Effect gets taken out. Wicked picking up a trifecta, but he gets taken out there by Static with... what is it called, Famas? Or Wansum? The Famas.
Famas. Syllables are hard.
Yeah. English is just not a good language for me, even though it's my primary. Go figure.
Alright, well, let's take a look here as it's going to be Napkin here is going to go a little bit crazy here. He's taking on the entire 5alive squad there, but he's actually going to fall finally there. Clip's going to pick up a counter kill there on Nicholas. We'll move to a 3v4 kill situation here, so pretty even on the spawn timers here for everybody as I have to get used to not casting in free spec all the time here because I can't actually see who has the flag and who doesn't then. And let's take a look here. Anchor-wise, it looks like Skadoodle is going to be the anchor man yet again here for this 20 ID squad, but they are pushed pretty far forward here as he's going to be playing pretty much all by his lonesome here, back by the well towards the flag side right now, as he's going to be pushed here pretty heavily by this 5alive team.
Wicked has the flag. I hate to interrupt you. Wicked has the flag here. He's being escorted by Clips. This is going to be... oh, he gets taken out, and Torque does a nice job. Picks up a double kill on Wicked and Clips, and he sends the flag back as B-Block kills him. But great job, 5alive doing it again. It prevents 20 ID from picking up that point, Wansum.
Yeah, absolutely, and 20. As I was saying there, Skadoodle actually was a monster there on the 20 ID side. There, I was watching from the anchor perspective there as they were carrying the flag across the field. He was actually fending off the rest of that 5 Alive team there on his own flag site. So, props there to Skadoodle as he's going to be on top of his team with a 20-6 right now. Mind you, he has no captures and no returns. So Skadoodle just being a monster for his team right now, Anger.
Yeah, absolutely. And again, it is 2-1 in the favor of 5 Alive. This is the second half of map number 2 here on Hanoi. This is the ESL CTF Kickoff Cup Finals between 20 ID and 5 Alive. Wicked getting taken out there, and Clips picking up a kill with the FAMAS. So the kills for 20 ID is not an issue. It's just trying to get that flag. And again, you got to give 5 Alive a lot of credit with the defensive posture that they are given here. Napkin gets taken out by Static, and as I'm bouncing around, wants me seeing anything quite yet. Has 20 ID tried to approach the flag, or even 5 Alive for that matter? It looks like 5 Alive has taken the stand of playing really super defensive.
They have, and I actually saw Skadoodle has either he's switched with a teammate or he is on there. They've pulled the goalie, so to speak. Exactly, saying 20 ID is all on offense here. Skadoodle is actually on the push. Just saw him die right outside the 5 Alive flag area. So 20 ID has pulled the goalie. Let's see if they get overextended here, if they actually can pull off, getting into this flag site and taking it away and getting a flag here. So we'll take a look here as this 5 Alive team effect is just going to be racking up the kills. Everybody's dead but Skadoodle, who is again on the respawn here. So he will head back through mid right now, wait for his team to respawn. They've only got a couple chances left here, Ted, as they've got about 4 minutes left on the clock, 4:15. We'll call it a 4 even here, and again they've pulled everybody. 5 Alive has to know that as they've seen Skadoodle sort of out of spawn here. So it looks like he's going to play back a little bit again. Perhaps they're going to wait and do another push here a little bit later on. But Skadoodle back at the anchor position here for 20 ID.
Yeah, 20 ID having a hard time getting the numbers advantage. They're having a hard time getting into position by 5 Alive, and 5 Alive doing I don't know if you could call it an excellent job from your point of view. For those of you who aren't too happy with the camp the base, prevent the flag. 5 Alive with an extremely strong defense right now. You just look at everyone on their team completely back in their base, in their buildings. Like, I mean, I'm looking at this mini map, and everybody from 5 Alive Anger is on their side of the map. Nobody is moving. They're not even attempting to cap.
Yeah, and that's where I guess your argument may have a strong point, as Wicked gets taken out there, and Torque returns the flag. So this may help your argument, at least when it comes down to this. But again, like I said, a win's a win, and really the 5 Alive, or any team for that matter, doesn't make up the rules. So you play what you have, and 5 Alive right now doing a nice job preventing 20 ID from actually picking up the flag and taking it for any long distance.
And I don't want to make it seem like I don't want to say that 5 Alive is doing anything wrong at all. I mean, they're playing the game how they're winning. And like you said, that's I kind of have a history of the whole Fast and the Furious thing, and it doesn't matter if you win by an inch or a mile. There, I always say that jokingly, but that's totally what's going on here. They may win by the proverbial inch here in Call of Duty Black Ops, but a win is a win. They have definitely. I've even seen a change in weapons here as they've moved. There's some AKs on the field, even as well as those FAMAS. So they've changed weapons, they've changed their perspective, and they're playing defense now. So it's a little bit more of a. It's kind of like organized TDM with a flag that nobody's touching right now, if that makes any sense. So we'll see if 20 ID can then get the kill swing to go in their favor here. Thus far, it's been ineffective as they're just lining up and running through these bottle gap points. And right here we see the entire 20 ID team is dead, guys. I mean, all 5 players are dead in a respawn game.
Clips pick up the flag, but he couldn't quite take it out of Arches. Torque is pinging like to 300. He drops down to 60, but he still pistols him and prevents him from taking the flag from their area. Torque, I've been watching him here. His ping has just been totally fluctuating, but he's still working it big time, so you got to give him a lot of love here, as now Torque gets taken out there by Skadoodle. Now Skadoodle, like you were saying, Skadoodle pick up the flag, but no, he gets taken out by Super, and 5 Alive prevents it from doing it. Napkin touches a flag. That was just a tease there. And Wicked now has the flag, I believe, in his favor. Yes, he does. Now, this is big time here as he passes Noose. He's going through mid now. He's getting the mid buildings. It looks like B Block now is going to be his escort. This is critical here as Effect comes around. Oh, but there's B Block taking out Effect. B Block is taken out by Nick. Again, back and forth, and Nicholas saves the day, Wanson.
Wow.
Goodness. That is the most exciting CTF I've seen thus far, which gives me a little bit of hope. So, wow, fantastic play there by that 20ID team. I thought they were going to make it across the map. Looks like they had every point covered, but just great flanking there coming from that 5Alive team. They weren't going to let it get out of hand there as they come through, and it looks like they're going to be able to hold on again, as that will create again that the kill count in their favor, the spawn count in their favor here, Ted.
Yeah, I mean, I was holding my breath there. I honestly thought 20ID was going to get that done, and it just doesn't sound like they're going to get that done as I hear the clock ticking down. Not much really 20ID can do. I think that was their kind of last-ditch push, and Nicholas, though, just came around the corner, got that kill. You know, and I'm actually surprised he got that far because there was 2 members of 20ID there, and they just really could not hold it down. So good games to 20ID, good games to 5Alive. You know, final thoughts, Anger.
Well, the ending right there was pretty epic, at least for all the matches we've covered for this tournament. That was just a slice of heaven, at least for the CTF part. It was great to see there. Even though 5Alive was really defensive, 20ID just kept chipping and chipping and chipping away, and eventually they broke in and got that flag. It's just unfortunate they just couldn't get across the goal line there, Wansum. But nonetheless, very exciting finals as 5Alive wins 2-0.
Yeah, and again, guys, some of that, I'm sure that's a very, very sweet victory for those guys there. As again, that was a former 20ID squad there who, again, lost their sponsorship due to some controversial reasons. But overall, a great team, man. And for you Call of Duty, players out there, that team came from Modern Warfare 2 and you know, the Battlefield series and all that kind of thing. So, so you see these guys come in from different game types, do well, win the first tournament. So, and again, here, Ted, in this final, we did not see EMG play. I don't want to bring that up too much. I'm going to bring it up because I still feel like that's the best team currently playing the game. But the 2 teams we saw in the final here, literally the majority of those players were not from the COD series. I mean, what do you think about that? Does it have to do with the game type, or just, what does that say?
Well, I think, some of it goes to the random seeding. We can't not discount random seeding, just simply because we don't, know how things would have shaken up. I hear, there was some talk on the forums about the lower half of the bracket being slightly easier for for the Carnal team and also for the 20ID team, but I'm not sure about that. BL Gaming was pretty strong on that bottom half of the bracket, so random seeding is definitely one thing. I think also the map choices definitely play in favor because it was just one map, one match, one and done essentially. If you got a good map against a strong team, you have a better shot at winning. So that's something else. And I think just overall the different CTF game type kind of brings out different abilities in the different players here in the community. And then, like we've been saying throughout the past couple days, players from AVA and players from Modern Warfare 2, CTF players from Quake, some really interesting new blood in the community.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. And I have to admit, I was kind of skeptic on the CTF, but it kind of won me over. Now, I know there's some arguments with spawns and just people, playing, maybe some people saying playing a little defensive, but I like to see different aspects. I love to see teams work and not just go into that stale S&D format. I love to see the different genres, and it really makes teams and teamwork and communication really come out and stand out. So I'm really looking forward to listening to the archive and listening to see what 20ID was doing, and hopefully we get the opportunity to listen to other teams' war rooms, because again, I believe communication is key in how the teammates relate to one another. So I'm really looking forward to that as we have more tournaments and the league start. It's going to be fun to listen to that. So that should be pretty cool.
And actually, I'm going to have the leader here of this 5Alive squad come in. So if you got any shout-outs or anything like that, Anger, Ted, anybody like that, I've actually got one.
You bringing Nick in? Because he hit me up right now. Is that?
Yeah, I'll bring him in.
Yeah, bring them all 5 in if you could. All right. As for shoutouts, I have a few here. First, from Disturbed, shoutouts to my Search and Destroy playing nubs at Clutch Impact Gaming. So thank you, Disturbed, for getting that in. Let's see here, as it looks like Nicholas is going to come in. From Nightcrawler, we have shout out to the whole e-rev cast, doing a great job casting. And just shout out to my girlfriend in Canada. Love you, babe. So, all right, that's from Nightcrawler, and thank you for that. You can get your shout-outs really quick to us. Before we bring the 5alive team in here, you can do that by hitting me up on Xfire at Anger, O-N-E, the number 5, the number 6, the number 2, and I'll try to get that shout-out to you quickly. Saying, why don't you give out your Xfire really quick in case they get to you?
Yeah, my Xfire is Sanguinus. That's Sanguinius. Sanguinus. And if you just send me an Xfire, I will try and get that out for you as we look to get this 5alive team in Ven here.
Yeah,
they're on their way. I just went up and talked to
looks
them.
like they're making their approach in here. Is that correct, Wansum, or what's the dilly-dally?
Yeah, he wants to bring in all of his guys there, so I guess we're going to sit here and banter a little bit until he gets all his guys in. So
okay, well, we could bring in John from ESL. I'm not sure if you're going to set that up, saying
yeah, let me
first.
Yeah, let me see what's going on here. I'm not sure if he's available. Maybe he's doing something with the Quake Live guys. So just give me a couple minutes to see if he's around.
Well, I would like to make this point. First and foremost, I would like to thank ESL for giving us the opportunity in casting their cup here, their CTF cup. Even though the teams were slow in getting in and such, that's not ESL's fault. They did a nice job, especially with the 5alive and U4, by giving them an opportunity to play again when U4 had a couple players with lag issues. That's big time there, and people will remember that. So big props here for putting this first Black Ops tournament underway. And again, ESL, much love, and again, thanks from e-rev for giving us the opportunity to cast your league. I'm not sure. So it looks like Wansum is getting everything together, and Ted is also doing the same. So we'll see who gets in here first. It looks like 5alive is entering the e-rev studios. They're popping in here. As it looks like we have Static, we have Torque a beast. He has like the highest ping ever, going from 300 downloading porn and going back to in-game and still pistoling kids. We also, let's see who else is coming in. Nicholas, the big defender, the anchor I like to call it, holding it down. Effect is in here, and it looks like we have everybody wants them. Are we missing anybody?
no, they're all here. We got let's see here, Super Nick, Static Ted, and Torque. And Effect in here as well. Or sorry, Ted, evidently you're on the team, dude. My bad. As saying has joined the 5alive team. So, guys, whoever wants to speak up for you guys are the champions here of the first inaugural ESL Cup, their community cup for CTF. So, your guys' thoughts on how the tournament ran, the teams you guys faced, the level of competition. If maybe one of you guys wants to take the lead here and then sort of kick it to your teammates, take it away.
Yeah. Basically, the tournament was very fun. I liked the rule set. I think what could have happened was, the perks, I think, could have made the game go a little bit faster. Other than that, I had a lot of fun. Competition was tough throughout the entire thing, and we had a lot of fun as a team.
That was Nicholas there. Let me ask you a question to Torque. I know that you saw some players drop from 20 ID off and on, and I know you were having some lag issues. Is that more just with your service provider, or do you think that was? How did that work out with you at least? That was interesting because I saw your ping fluctuating a lot, and you were still doing a lot of damage.
I'm not sure what was going on with the ping, but I didn't really notice it, and I just kept focused throughout the entire thing, so it didn't really affect me.
Awesome. And Static, what was your feelings about how the CTF played out? I know there's a lot of mixed feelings from players around the Call of Duty community. What is your opinion about the CTF and maybe other genres like Dom or Dem?
With the CTF mode, I'd say that it's more like fast-paced more action. There's not really, you just die in S&D and you gotta wait like the rest of the game process. But for domination, once again, it's really fast paced. Everyone's up. There's lots of teamwork. I'm not saying there's not teamwork in S&D, but it's just the difference is, you know, there's no camping, there's no wall banging, there's no set nades as hard.
Right, right. In fact, what's your feelings about CTF and the other genres?
CTF, I think it's a really good, fast-paced game type. I really like it over S&D for sure. It takes a lot of teamwork. You know, I just came to play with these guys, and you know, I fit in pretty well. You know, you got your defensive guys. You know, you gotta stay strong and stuff like that. I say we stick with S&D. I mean, I've never played really domination yet, but nor demolition. But between CTF and S&D, I go CTF for sure because it's a lot of fun and anything could happen.
Yeah, no doubt. Now, Wansum, I know that you brought the, I don't want to say drama, but the question in hand, and I don't know if you want to go there, but if you do, why don't you ask Nicholas a little bit about that? I'm just curious.
Yeah, and we want to, you know, we want to keep this, as I told you guys, you know, I felt like what went down with you guys as far as, you know, the sponsorship and all that kind of thing, I didn't feel like that was, you know, necessarily handled in the best way, but it is what it is. And, you know, without going into a whole lot of detail there, keep things professional. I mean, you guys play, you know, your former sponsor in the finals there. So, I mean, is that a little bit of motivation for you guys?
Yeah, I mean, it was a lot of motivation for us. You know, we felt we got the short end of the stick on the whole deal, and we used it to fuel our emotions, and we took it and we won the finals with it.
That's, you know, and that was kind of the perspective I got from it. I got to be honest with you guys. I lost track of you guys after that whole thing happened, and then as this tournament went forward and I had some issues with my internet and casting and that kind of thing, I was actually stoked to see you guys make it to the finals and have that sort of storyline come in there. It's a little bit of Days of Our Lives kind of stuff, not to play it off as anything, but it's cool to see that kind of thing happen. Yeah, exactly. So it was good stuff. So. Yeah, appreciate you guys stopping by, Anger. Be looking for these guys here coming up in those upcoming tournaments.
Yeah, no doubt. And Nicholas, I know that if you have any shout-outs that you want to get out to maybe sponsors or anything for that nature, why don't you do that right now, because we love to do that, give each person some love and some shout-outs. So first, Nick, why don't you give your love out to the people that you want to, shout-outs or anything?
I want to give my love out to my boy Hero. He's hasn't been playing gaming for a long time, and he's kind of left us, but he's a good friend. Super and Effect, you know, they just joined in 2 days ago, and we put a quick team together, and I'd like to announce that we signed a contract extension with Effect. He's going to be sticking with us through new tourneys, and you know, I just want to shout out to the entire team because everyone did their job, and that's how we won this tournament.
All right, Effect, why don't you go ahead with that, bro? Shout-outs.
Shout out to Banff Gaming, my boys. Shout out to Zach, and shout out to basically whoever's in all my teammates right now: Static, Torque, Nicholas, and Super. I mean, you know, we stratted a little bit, and we ended up winning this tournament, so it was great. I mean, came in, haven't even played with these guys before, so.
All right, Super.
I'd like to give a shout out to everyone I've played with in the past, Exile, Detox, and these group 5 of us right here. I feel we're going to go very far, and it's going to be a fun ride.
All right, Static.
Shout out for the TZ community that were definitely on our grill the whole time, telling us it had some, I guess you could say, rumors about us being, you know, what we just proved not to be. And also shout out to CRZG for messaging me while in game to leave the scrim. And another one to Ice, my boy, backing me up, and Mumble, basically managing the team, giving us some support there, and good job, 5alive.
All right, and last and definitely not least, the high pinger, Torque. What do you have?
I'll give a shout out to Wizard, Death, and Ice, and I just gotta say, hopefully the opinions of the people on the TZ have changed since this, and that's about it. It's been really fun throughout the entire thing.
All right, Nick, why don't you give a few real quick here as we're about ready to get this put to bed, but I know you missed a couple of people. Yeah. Why don't you get those?
Yes, Torque said, Death and Wizard, they've been helping us through this whole thing as our cheerleaders and back in Mumble. and we're going to continue with the 5alive Esports name.
All right. Watson, we need to get on that. We need some cheerleaders too, man. Damn it. Can
And
we
pizza.
use those, Nicholas?
Forgot about that.
All right, gentlemen. Thank you for coming in and giving us this interview right after the finals. Again, 5alive, the ESL first annual CTF Kickoff Cup champions, and they can put that in their resume because it's going to look juicy as other tournaments and leagues are coming in the near future. So, Wansum, we have another quick interview. That is the admin from ESL. We're going to bring him in right now. That's going to be Relix. Let me do that right now. As Relix, hello Relix, as we're live on the air, welcome tonight. Hopefully you're there. You there, my friend?
Yes, I am, Anger.
All right, you might have to turn yourself up just slightly if you can, Relix. And we'll give you an opportunity because you're real low. We want to make sure the people get to hear your sexiness as we're doing this interview.
Is this better?
You're kind of low. Wansum, is it low for you too? I just want to make sure.
Yeah, he's pretty low for me. If we could have Bobcat crank him up there, I don't know if he can put a special effective on him there. But as we get into this here a little bit, Relix, you guys run the first large scale tournament here in North America for the CTF game type here from ESL, and we had a little bit of a scheduling issue on a few things there, but overall, tournament ran very smooth. What are your thoughts on how things went there for ESL?
Pretty smoothly. We did have a few things that came up regarding the wire and time delays and whatnot. But when we first announced our ESL picking up Call of Duty, we had our community meetings with members of the community, and we basically were like, hey, what can happen will happen. We're going to work through it. We're honestly learning the system just as much as any one of the member of the community is. So in regards to this event, it did run smoothly. A lot more things could have happened, and we wouldn't have an answer for it, but we were pretty prepared in regards to getting things ironed out and keeping everything running smoothly. In regards to the delays, we have learned our lesson in regards to that, and in the future we won't be so kind when it comes to allowing team members or teams to get their people set up. This event was set up to be more lenient. I had questions. I had probably 30 PMs within the first 10 minutes of the cup saying, how do we contact the other team's leader? So easy things like that just we didn't declare or specify how they worked at the beginning of the event. Really delayed the event, and that's why we were lenient.
All right, Ted, you got anything here for Relix from sort of your role in esports as an oversight kind of guy? What do you got anything here for Relix?
Yeah, I mean, I guess looking ahead almost towards the next cup. This cup was a CTF cup. The next cup is going to be a Search and Destroy cup, and you guys announced a whole schedule of cups. I don't know, I can't remember exactly how many cups off the top of my head, starting in December and running all the way to January. But the next one's going to be Search and Destroy. Will we see rule changes, do you think, between this CTF Cup and this next Search and Destroy Cup?
Yes, certain issues came to us that we obviously need to imply before the next cup starts. Too many unanswered questions, too many teams were like, hey, this wasn't in the rules, this is why we did it, that kind of thing. So yes, we definitely do need to adjust our rule set and make it more informative.
All right, let's see here. You got anything you want to get on the air there, Relix? Real fast here as we're running a little long here. You got any plugs or anything like that? Take the mic here for a little bit.
This ESL coming to Call of Duty is like my whole reason on taking on the ESL role is to help out the community. I was not trying to gain anything when I contacted ESL. I basically saw it as a, hey, this might help Call of Duty, and I like Call of Duty. So apart from some people suspecting that I'm trying to gain any sort of power, per se, anybody that knows me or my personality, and has actually spent time in the show with me for an extended period of time knows that that's not what I'm looking for. We as ESL also announcing console cups coming up soon. Also, I think they're actually in the tentative schedule that Alien released on their website. And those registrations will be open, and they'll be the tournaments will be run by Stray Dog, one of the professional console players for Call of Duty. So I'm actually really stoked to see some console community action within ESL. Maybe seeing some interaction in between the PC community and the console community. I think having the platform that hosts both will really help the PC platform, and because people might say, "Oh my God, this is interesting," when they tune into an e-rev cast that they see on the ESL site. They're like, "Oh wow, this is pretty sweet," and then they're like, "Hey, I think I could get a computer and try to join this competition."
Okay. All right, Relics, we appreciate that. We'll dive a little bit deeper. I know we'll probably have an interview with you in the near future as more ESL stuff comes forward. Now, we're going to put this cast to bed. We like to thank, again, ESL for giving us the opportunity. And I have one thing for all you kids out there, may not know this guy, but Dandy Don Meredith passed away today. And for you NFL watchers out there that love the NFL and watched it for so many years, I know Wansum remembers this guy, but he was in the 70s. You can Google him, you can Bing him, Don Meredith. Make sure you do that. But I have a little song for you, the peeps out there. It's a Willie Nelson favorite. It's called "Turn Out the Lights." The party's over. Turn out the lights. The party's over. They say that all good things must come to an end. Call it tonight. The party's over, and tomorrow starts the same old thing again.
Golf club.
On that note, we'd like to say goodnight for Anger, Wansum, Sang, and the rest of the e-rev staff. Bobcat for doing video. Great work on all three maps. We'd like to say good night, and until next time, or tomorrow night, for the third place match. Until then, adios.